We need to come out of, we already motioned into the exec.
No, it's not. I just turned it off. I just turned it off. Leave it
Motion to
alone.
come out of executive.
Second? All in favor? Budget,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right, everybody has a copy of the budget as far as it adjusted from last week, okay?
Right.
And the highlights on the adjustments are as follows. Page 1 of the recap. The taxable assessed valuation was lowered $771,000 to reflect the certiorari judgment for West Point Hotel. That is the only cert that I can, I think it's a stretch for us to consider the other 3 certs and take them off the taxable assessed valuation because they're not court ordered yet. They most likely will be, but they're not yet. So this number, if they were court ordered, would go down another probably $1.2 million, $1.3 million. Okay? What I do recommend is we do consider maybe doing a little more beefing up of the judgment and claims. Now, we could do it one of 2 ways. We could state that, all right, the contingency fund that exists right now will be used to help bolster that up, but remember, it's also being used for the fire department, it's also being used for other things. Or we could try to maybe put in another $5,000, because we're still under the cap, put another $5,000 in to put that, I believe that would put it up to 20.
20, yeah.
Okay, and that, remember, we are going to have to refund the West Point Hotel
11,000?
$11,000, $11,327, okay? If we do get, Mayor, if you get an answer that's favorable, then that comes right off the top. Okay, so now that funds down to, if you add the 5, that funds down to about 9,000, just under 9,000 with these other certs. Now, these other certs are, you know, again, I haven't tabulated what the totals would be because they're really not known yet, but probably would exhaust the rest of the fund and maybe require a little contingency, but not as much as if we don't put the 5,000 or
Right.
so in. So my recommendation is to bolster it up another 5,000 for judgment and claims. What I am trying to do this week is take a look at fund balance and see if I could add a little more fund balance to help alleviate the real property rate. That is the tax rate that right now, if on page 1, if you look, is now at $9.74. Okay, now again, as I mentioned, approximately 72 cents of the of this rate is from the taxable assessed value change. Okay, so for somebody who's, let's say their assessment went down 9% or 10%, they're really going to see no major adjustment.
Right.
It's the ones that didn't have any changes that will have a more dramatic change in their village taxes. Okay? So throwing out there the 5,000, you know, think about it, and then when we finish here, you can let me know if you want to add that to it.
I'd like to add it to it.
Yeah, I think it goes
Bob?
without question.
Okay, so judgment and claims, which is on page 2 of 6.
Yep.
Will go up another 5,000, and that'll be reflected on the, to 20,000, that'll be reflected on the adopted budget that will be in front of you. I'm understanding we're still on target to do the 28th, Monday the 28th.
Right.
Is there a time that you want to do at 7 o'clock? Regular
Yeah, might as
meeting
well.
time? Okay. All right, so that would, right now it's the 28th. And the only,
Is that a,
Philip Town Board meeting.
Town Board also?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You could make it 15 minutes before that, really, it's up to the board what you want to do.
how long do you think it's gonna take to do the whole?
Adopting the budget, you essentially, I'll have it to you for Monday. Monday morning, it'll be available to you to get whenever you want.
Do you wanna do it at?
Because
does
pretty
it
much
matter if we do it on
everything,
camera, do you wanna do it at 6:30 so we can do, and do it on camera right before the town? Does it matter?
I mean, it's,
Do it
Don't
at
take long.
town board, or?
No, we would do it
yeah,
here.
you do it here.
I don't wanna interrupt their thing, because we have to have our own area, but we do it here on camera at 6:30 and they start at 7. This way we actually do the, you know, open,
Okay, so it's televised.
right, so it's televised and the community can see.
Yeah, everything that's here that you have in this document is essentially what I would review for final. The only things that are gonna change right now, based on our conversation, are the 5,000 addition, the fund balance. Okay, whether or not there's opportunity for fund balance to increase. It's not gonna go down. I've taken a look at our balances and so on, and the 230 is sustainable. But again, it's a very conservative number, and I'm recommending a very conservative number because of the challenges that the village is facing going forward. Okay, especially we just have to look at West Point Highway, and we know just in the sewer department, there's a challenge. The beauty of that is the sewer department's probably got the healthiest
Right.
financials right now out of all the departments. So, you know, that's a little bit of good fortune there. Okay. We cut celebrations and we added to the mayor's line.
Right.
So the mayor's line is 3,500 for secretary, and obviously that's including the celebrations discussion. We broke out the fire department as requested. There is now a fire department engine reserve, and there's a fire department command vehicle reserve. And there is, I gotta make one pen and ink change. It says 63, it actually should be 62. And I'll just fix that, that's just a code. So now you have 15,000 for the engine, 5,000 for the command vehicle, as per our last meeting. Okay? Other than that, we get to the bottom line. Your number is 4,667,948. Again, that's reflected on the first page. We go into the water fund, and some good news on that. We got a preliminary water reading for the outside village water requirement. And not to get into the specific, because that number still has to be refined, but it looks like our $200,000 estimate for water rents other governments is good.
Good.
Okay, so I think that's a good number to work with. And coupling that with the metered sales, and I think your budget for this should be solid.
What was the number of the water sales last year? Do you?
Last year,
Was 180?
I have 2012-13 was 187, almost 188. Okay, and it was budgeted for 145.
Okay.
Now again, the water fund does owe about 120,000 to the sewer fund for interfund transfer to take care of salaries, but that money will be collected with the water bills that go out, and that the sewer fund will be bolstered back up. Okay. Again, I want to stress, we really need relief from the school on the 37,000, so anything the board can do with that to shepherd that along would be, I think, valuable. Okay, going into sewer fund, revenues, again, your actuals in 2012-13 were just over $1 million. You're budgeting for about $1.8 million. I think it's a solid number, and your contingency is strong in the sewer department, and obviously for a reason, because you're going to need it. Okay, the goal, I guess, really is if you can get away with having to not borrow for this
We're not
repair.
gonna borrow.
Okay.
We'll do our best not to borrow.
Okay. All right, so that's pretty much the rundown of the budget. The main criteria that we talked about, I think, are pretty much solved. I think it's a strong budget. And the only, like I said, the only issue that can come up is making sure the residents understand tax rate, tax cap, different deals. Okay, you're within the tax cap based on the formula, and they'll be getting submitted before budget adoption.
Excellent.
Okay.
I think you did a great job,
Thank you.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
Do you want me to advertise for sure that April 28th is?
Yes,
At 6:30?
6:30, right? That good for you?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Do me a favor, anything that you have that is previous to this, just destroy so you don't get things confused. Okay? If you have any notes, just transfer them onto this. This document is probably 99% of what you're going to get officially for Monday. Okay?
Can you motion now?
Okay.
I need a motion to go into executive session.
Motion again. to go
Second.
into executive session.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Move into executive session, thank you very much. I'm just gonna grab my notes, you'll stay here. Doesn't really matter.